Hi,
Hi,
Bailey.
Bailey.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for interviewing. I'm Matt Flaherty. I'm a council member at large and the chair of the council's Climate Action and Resilience Committee, which is the committee doing interviews for the Environmental Commission.
Nice to meet you.
Other folks want to introduce themselves?
I'm Isabel Piedmont Smith, City Council District 5.
Kate Rosenberger, City Council District 1.
So yeah, thank you for applying to the Environmental Commission. We read through your application, took a look at your resume, and are happy to be interviewing you for one of the vacancies. There's actually only one council appointed vacancy at the moment, but I think there is a mayoral vacancy or two as well. I think we are interviewing a couple of folks for this position, and we'll hopefully be in a position to make a recommendation to the full council, city council, within the next week or so. And the way these typically go, the council typically takes the recommendation of the committee conducting the interviews. And so hopefully within a relatively short period of time, we'll know one way or the other how the council has decided to fill this appointment for the Environmental Commission. And whether, if that's you, great. And if it's not you, there may be other opportunities as well, is what I wanted to communicate. So anyway, thank you very much for applying and being interested in serving the city through our boards and commissions. This shouldn't take too long, maybe 15 minutes or so. We'll probably just ask you some questions based on your background and some of the answers you provided in your application. And then we'd be happy to answer any questions you have too about the commission and how council works with commissions and that sort of thing. So maybe to start, if you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you were interested in applying for the Environmental Commission.
Sure. So I want to preface this a little bit and apologize for the mask and if you hear any background noise. I'm currently actually in Budapest, Hungary. I am a professional athlete and I swim at IU. I graduated last year with my undergrad in global and international studies and a major in French. My focus in that undergraduate study was global health and environment. So yeah, I'm here right now, and I apologize if there's any background noise. But yeah, so I interned with the Office of Sustainability at IU. I was the engagement intern there. My role is kind of engaging with student organizations, trying to get them to have green certified events, making sure that students were aware of sustainability initiatives on campus, and doing other work with departments like athletics. We worked a lot with trying to do waste diversion, stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, I've been in Bloomington for 2 years. I guess this is like going on my 3rd year. I transferred in as a senior, and I went to the University of Denver before that. And I'm from Ottawa, Canada, so I'm an international student, as it's not very international, but yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, great. I saw you were involved with Students for a New Green World as well. Do you want to tell us maybe just a little bit about your membership and work with that organization too?
Yeah, so I started with Students for a New Green World when it was very, very brand new. It was probably like a group of 10 students at the time interacting with faculty and staff. I did some tabling for them, trying to spread awareness of climate strikes around campus that the students could take part in. I took a brief break during my kind of the height of my swimming season and academic year, and then came back towards the end of the spring and tried to help them with. It was actually right before COVID happened. They were trying to start an event. It was kind of like a student engagement event on Dunn Meadow, where students could learn about climate change mitigation efforts and stuff like that, and join Green Road. So, yeah.
Great, very cool. Yeah, I've been familiar with a bit of their work and it's great that they're doing it and that it's happening.
Yeah,
So,
they're a great group
Yeah.
of people, and Stephen is very motivated. I don't know if he's actually still heading it. It might be Beth now, but yeah, they were really great to work with.
great. If anybody else, other committee members want to jump in with questions, by all means, just go ahead too.
So do you know much about the Environmental Commission? Have you ever attended a meeting or talked to somebody who served on it?
I haven't actually. I found out about you guys through Be Involved kind of recently, and was very interested in what appeared to you guys had to offer to the city, and I'm very interested in environmental like, I guess, mitigation efforts for climate change, but from a top-down perspective. I love grassroots movements, but I honestly think that the only effective way to get change is through government and public policy. And so when I was reading about the commission and how they make efforts to push policy through the city, I thought it was really interesting and something that I would absolutely love to help with, because I think that's where the most need is. But if you have anything that you'd like me to know, I would love to hear anything.
Well, I actually got my start in city government on the Environmental Commission. Of course, that's been quite a while, but the most frequent, I think, interaction between the city council and the Environmental Commission is related to land use, in that when we have rezoning proposals or proposals for an exception to our planning rules, the Environmental Commission always takes a look at those and makes recommendations, whether we have done a good job in protecting the natural environmental features of the site and things like that. So that's what I hear most frequently from the Environmental Commission. I know they also gave a lot of input on our comprehensive master plan, which was adopted last year. So it's really, like you say, it's a valuable body to give us advice on policy. So good. I'm glad you're interested in that. Are you in Bloomington most of the time? You're not right now, but do you?
Yes.
Would you be able to commit to a monthly meeting or two?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is actually very unusual that I'm here. We didn't think it was going to happen when we were told about it at the beginning of the year. I'm here till mid-November, and then I'm back in Bloomington pretty much indefinitely.
Okay, great.
And the meetings, generally speaking, are third Thursdays of the month. If that's a day that would normally, you wouldn't have like a standing conflict with or anything. Just want to double check on that as well.
Nope.
Okay. And I'm not sure if they have work sessions or additional works occasionally, but yeah, a few hours a month, in addition to the meeting, maybe is a reasonable expectation. So not too much.
And of course, right now, the meetings are all via Zoom. So
Zoom.
even if you're still in Hungary, you could potentially participate.
I can ask a question. Is that good?
Go
Okay.
for it.
You talked about climate change, and I know that's on our minds too, which is great. What are some of the issues in there that you are interested in? So I would just say, for me, a lot of times with land use, I actually bring transportation planning into it a lot, because like how people get around where they live is very important to me when we're looking at building a new apartment building or something like that. So is there something that really interests you and that you tend to like bring up a lot, or like want to bring up a lot, so that other folks, so that it's on our radar, I guess?
Yeah. So something that I have come across through the research that I've done for school and just being generally interested in the issue is intersectionality and its connection with environmental issues, and how minority groups and people of color are often marginalized and affected to an extreme degree when it comes to the effects of climate change. I think that's not talked about a lot when we're making decisions based, like, these people also often don't have seats at the table, which is frustrating. And I do my best to amplify those voices, and, you know, get those people seats at the table, if not have their voices heard. But yeah, that's an issue to me that I feel very passionately about. I think that's something that needs to be brought into the climate change discussion. It's a relatively new concept, I guess. But yeah, that's something I can do.
That is very good to hear. I would say it's something that is, like you said, just like very misunderstood as well, or like folks just don't know about it yet. And so I think the more we talk about it and bring it up, that these are connected, the better.
Absolutely.
So in particular for Bloomington, have you noticed anything that maybe we should be doing that we're not doing, or that we can learn from other cities? I mean, I don't expect you to have all the answers or anything, but do you have anything that you think Bloomington in particular should take a look at as far as environmental protection or climate change mitigation?
Yeah, working with athletics when I was with Office of Sustainability, I mean, something that was it was kind of an easy issue to deal with. I shouldn't say easy, because there's a lot of intricacies in every issue, but waste diversion, I think, is something that's very easy for the public to understand. And when there's changes that come with that, and you say, you know, okay, we're going to put compost in, we're going to distribute compost bins to the public. It's an easy concept for them to be like, okay, I put my food in this bin, I put my plastic in this one. And compost specifically, Bloomington doesn't really have a centralized city compost system. I think that's something that could be implemented and could be very useful. And I know a lot of the student housing and apartment buildings that students live in don't even provide recycling. So that's also a start.
Yeah, I with some colleagues, I looked into that a few years ago about requiring, recycling contracts for apartment buildings, and
right.
It's always difficult here in Bloomington because we kind of like to push the envelope, but the state government isn't quite as enlightened. So
Yeah.
I was told that they would knock it down if we tried to do that, but I still think we should try to do it. So yeah, good points.
Yeah, it's a timely topic. Somebody else emailed me about that recently, and I think that is something that we should try to tackle and not dare, but like see if the state's willing to say, yes, we are not okay with cities requiring, recycling everywhere. I think that's a very reasonable thing for us to do. And yeah, also very much appreciate your environmental justice lens in bringing that to the table. Are there questions we can answer for you about how council works with commissions, or about the environmental commission specifically? If we're able to answer those, we're not on the commission, obviously, but I'm actually meeting with the staff liaison, who's Linda Thompson, who is she's the environmental planner for the city. She helps staff the commission and work on some of those land use issues that Isabel was talking about. So that's kind of the most regular city contact. But again, the commissions advise the council as well. So, but yeah, any questions about how the commissions work and that we could answer for you?
Yeah, I guess, like, how restricted are you guys when it comes to solutions and issues that you bring forward? Like, are things that you bring up addressed quickly? I know when I worked with the Office of Sustainability with the university, sustainability is sometimes put on the back burner because money and whatever other issues are put first. How are you guys dealt with within the city?
Well, I think the mayor gets it. I think he is on board. But there's always this tension between, we only have a certain amount of money, and that amount of money is actually shrinking because of COVID. And so, we have to convince people to invest in environmental protection and in climate change adaptation and mitigation. So the money sometimes closes some doors. I don't know how, Matt, Kate, do you have other feedback?
Go ahead, Kate, if you.
No, you go. I'm okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is a problem kind of everywhere, that we don't always take the most holistic or long-term view in thinking comprehensively about environmental and climate issues, and sort of tend to discount the harms that will be visited among people in the future, or among racial minorities or lower socioeconomic groups. So I think part of it is honestly just like we need to keep working on doing a better job in government of like clarifying those impacts and making the case for a more holistic and like progressive view of some of those issues. So I guess the short answer is like, there's of course some areas where we're doing quite well and are sort of ahead of the curve, certainly for Indiana. We have a lot of strong commitments on the climate front and other related environmental fronts, but it's one of those things where the work's never done and there's always more to do and we can do better. So I don't know if it's a uniform answer of being slow moving or fast moving. Some things are kind of quick. I suppose in government, generally speaking, things are maybe a little bit slow. Sometimes they take a while to work through, development of legislation, for instance, and taking that through a process. But I think the commissions are really, really important at bringing attention to like those types of issues. So I think that kind of work is just really vital for the commissions to be engaged with council with. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I don't feel like I'm answering the question particularly well. Just that it varies, I guess is the short answer. We're doing, yeah. Oh, I know one thing I wanted to add still, which is that the city's climate action plan is a draft is going to be released in the next few weeks, and then we will have the council adopt or support by resolution that plan sometime early next year, and that will develop a much more detailed roadmap, which would certainly impact some of the decisions and input that the Environmental Commission has as well for where we're trying to go on the climate front. It would impact the work of a lot of different commissions and city departments, obviously, but I think that will help to inform the Environmental Commission's work going forward some as well. So that's something that's on the horizon that can hopefully help us to ramp up ambition a little bit and move a little faster. So I just wanted to put that on your radar.
And Bailey, did you know that we also have a commission on sustainability?
I did see that actually. I wasn't sure. I don't think there's any openings, right?
That's right. Yeah.
No, there are not. I just wanted to make you aware. So they also work on the climate action.
Do you guys interact with them often? Oh, sorry.
With the Commission on Sustainability, or do the commissions interact with each other? Or sorry, what was the?
Yeah, I mean with the Commission on Sustainability, but also other commissions. Is there much interaction?
Between council and the commissions, or between commissions like themselves? Sorry.
Between commissions themselves. Sorry.
Gotcha. Probably not as much as there could or should be. I used to serve on the Commission on Sustainability as well, and we had an environmental commission member who would come to meetings. That's honestly kind of an ongoing topic of board and commission structure at the city. It's something that I know the mayoral administration, and some council members are interested in looking at, kind of where there's overlap or where there's synergies that we could be taking advantage of that we aren't really. And perhaps the Environmental Commission and the Commission on Sustainability is one of those places. They do have different purviews for sure. I mean, the Commission on Sustainability kind of thinks as the sustainability, as I'm sure you're aware of, the kind of three legs of the sustainability framework, social, economic, and environmental sustainability. But as you just articulated earlier in this interview, the view of environmental issues and environmental protection has evolved, I think, sufficiently to encompass those as well. That like now environmentalism usually or often incorporates environmental justice, which I would consider like social sustainability, into its lens. So to the extent that there was a gap between what the Commission on Sustainability was doing and kind of the traditional purview of the Environmental Commission, which is a little more related to probably air and water quality and ecosystem health and things like that, I think those are kind of coming, towards each other, just through a better understanding of environmental justice and some of those issues. So I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like describing some of some of what's going on with the commissions, but I think there's opportunities for those two commissions, yeah, to complement each other, if not even be restructured possibly in the future. I don't know.
And they both do studies that provide data for our policy decisions. So the Environmental Commission was the first one to do a greenhouse gas emission analysis for Bloomington. That's kind of moved to a staff level now. And then the Commission on Sustainability did an annual report on sustainability indicators. And now we have a citywide sustainability action plan. So they've both done important work that has, helped us to face the climate crisis with a little better armor.
And I would say community education as well and outreach, which I know is something you've had some experience with. We rely on commissions sometimes to help elevate various issues around environmental health. Like maybe it's about, like on the Environmental Commission page, for instance, they have fact sheets related to like invasive species and, non-toxic lawn care and things like that. So I think there's always a need and it's really great when commissioners can bring that type of expertise and energy to like to those issues, because a lot of we just have limited capacity on the council and in city staff to do outreach too. So it's great to have motivated community members willing to help serve the community kind of through education efforts, whether it's on composting or other things. So that's another kind of function of theirs in terms of community interface. I don't know if I have any more questions at this point to other council members, or Bailey, if you had other questions for us.
I think we answered all my questions.
Anybody else?
No, I think we've covered a lot.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you for joining us, Bailey. Like I said, I know the clerk's office, Ms. McDowell, who maybe reached out to you to schedule this.
There she is.
we reach out to everybody who we interview. We get in touch with in a week or two, right, to let them know the committee's decision and the council's decision, and just so they're not left hanging. So I think you can expect to hear from the clerk's office sometime in the next couple of weeks about the council appointment to the Environmental Commission. Yeah, I kind of mentioned at the beginning, I guess, that we're interviewing a handful of folks, but very much appreciate you applying and interviewing and your interest. And even if you're not our appointment, I think there are a couple of vacancies, and we interact with the mayor's office too on making recommendations, or certainly can. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us today, and enjoy Hungary while you're there.
Good luck with your swim competition.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Bailey.
Thank you. Thanks so much for the opportunity. Sorry, I think I might be cutting it a little bit, but
A little
thank
lag,
you.
I think.
I appreciate it.
All good. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
If I could ask the council members to please stay on for a moment. I have prepared the action memo, which I believe can still be signed electronically. So I will circulate that. What works best is if it's in order. So Matt, maybe if you could sign electronically first, then you, Isabel, and you, Kate, just based on how you are on my screen. And then just to update you, I did speak with John Gade and confirmed, yes, indeed, he is in one of those pockets.
Okay.
And he did not realize he was not in city limits.
Yeah.
But I've encouraged him to apply for other boards and commissions that do allow for non-city residents to serve.
Great. Thank you. And then was it Daniel was the other
Yes.
person we were trying to interview? And I forget, have we confirmed his availability for tomorrow prior to the
Yes. So
council meeting?
the next meeting will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. The public has been noticed. We've let the media contacts know. It's been posted online, the meeting as well as the public notice with the Zoom link. So it should be, I assume since it's at 6, this tomorrow might go a little bit quicker, just so you all can prepare for the
Sure. Yeah.
regular special session.
That sounds good. And in terms of the action memo, would we want to wait on that until, I mean, do we have to sign something right now if it's just like deliberating?
Yeah,
And
you
if
would
we-
have to,
Okay,
you would have to fill this out because you did do something,
Me,
which
yeah.
was interviewing Bailey.
interviewed, yeah.
So essentially there could be 3 action memos for this particular
Round.
vacancy.
Yeah,
So the interviews and unless you take action at after
Mhm.
tomorrow's interview and decide whom to appoint,
Mhm.
if anyone.
Sure. So we could do these 2 interviews, and if we don't decide, immediately prior to this, I guess in the special session, we probably aren't doing appointments to boards and commissions anyway, right? That's
No.
a regular session only. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So there's no rush. So we can just loop back after the second interview as a
Mhm.
committee. Could we do that via email? Can we?
No.
It would be better
No,
if we
okay.
could make a decision after we interview Daniel tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
have to
So that
schedule
we don't have
another
to schedule
meeting.
another meeting.
Yeah, we would have
Right.
to know. Yep.
Right. Got it. That'll make
Which is
sense. And yes,
possible. And if it runs
Yeah.
over and it just happens, I'm prepared to set something else up if we need to. But
Okay. No, being aware of that's helpful, and just talking through it so we can keep it tight tomorrow. And yeah, maybe make sure we're done with the interview by no later than like 6:20, 6:15 ideally.
Mhm.
And so we can discuss.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds
All
good. So for the action
There's-
memo today, go ahead as well.
There's no requirement that our commission members be US citizens, right? Because Bailey said she's from Ottawa.
Think so.
I don't think
it's-
so either. I just
I don't
wanted
think
to
so.
make sure.
Yeah.
I've not come across it, but I might double check with Stephen Lucas just in case. I don't believe it's anything in our general code, but I don't know specific to each board or commission.
I actually think that we've had people on I know of at least one person on the Hispanic Latino Affairs Commission who was a student from another
Okay,
country. So I think we're good.
great.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
All right, well, I am prepared to send the action memo around. If you could each sign and date it, and then don't worry about saving it, just send it back to me and I'll save it in the official record with the clerk's signature as well.
Okay. So we
We're
We
done
save the
with
copy
today.
though with our signature. We like save the version with our signature
Yeah.
added and send it back.
And email it back, yeah, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
don't worry about saving that one later.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah,
I will get the final copy and reach
Okay.
out in case anything goes wrong.
yeah. Sounds good.
All right, thanks
Thank you for
everyone.
coordinating all this, Sophia. I think
Sure.
yeah, we can work on a better process for the future sometime.
Yes, sounds good.
Standing time or something. But all right.
That'd be good.
Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow at 6.
All right, have a good
All right.
day.
Yep. Thanks all.
Thanks.